Have you ever read a story, seen a movie, seen a show where you were just completely gripped by that narrative? You could not resist, could not wait to just keep reading more, or you had to watch the next episode. I believe people refer to this often as binging Netflix. Well, that's what this class is about. This is the introductory slide, the very first slide of the very first lesson. And so that's why I'm telling you what the class is about. You might be wondering, what does this class have to do with binging Netflix? Well, the primary thing we're studying in here is literature. You might be thinking, okay, I can see how Netflix is a little bit like literature. They both tell a story. But you might be thinking, what does literature have to do with this class? Well, if you look at the course description, the class is the study of the emergence and development of Western civilization. What is the best way to learn about a civilization? The answer to that question, I have one. I don't know if you'll agree with me. I'm hoping by the end of the course you'll agree with me, and I'd love to debate it with you throughout the course and hear what you think. But the best way, I believe, to learn about a civilization is to study its literature. Let me frame it for you this way. If 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, after you and I are long gone, scholars and students wanted to look back and study the time in which we live, what would be the best source, the best way for them to learn about our culture? Would it be, here's one possibility, would it be what is written down in history books by people after this time? Let me propose another option. Would it be the things the people of this time period loved? The shows, the films, the books, the video games, the social media sites, the media that we consume and love. That tells us about who we are, what we value as a culture, how we define ourselves. This is true all throughout the ages. And so this class, as the course description says, is a study of Western civilization from antiquity, the very beginning of time, up through the fall of the Roman Empire. So several thousand years, several empires and cultures. We'll be learning about these people, their beliefs, their customs, their values, and as they wrote stories about heroes and heroines and villains and journeys and adventures, they put into those stories their beliefs, their values, and so we can learn what they believe and value from reading, analyzing, interpreting, and ourselves writing about those stories. And so that's what we're going to do in this class. I wanted to give you that introduction. This is our first lesson. The lessons will be comprised of a number of short videos. So you don't have to sit down and watch something really long. You don't have to sit there for a couple of hours. Each video will be very short. They'll probably range from about 5 minutes to 20 minutes. The longest you'll probably ever see will be about 30 minutes. And so each lesson will be a collection of these short videos. So you can think of it kind of like binging Netflix, to go back to that analogy. You can watch 2 or 3 videos in a row. You can, if you have to go to work or you have to go make dinner or something, you can come back later on and pick up where you left off really easily. And so there'll be usually somewhere between 3 to 5 short videos for each lesson. And again, those videos will range from about 5 minutes to 20 minutes on average, the longest being about half an hour. This first video is just one slide, one introduction, because I want to prove to you how short the videos will be. So you just have this one image here, the name of the course, the name of the first lesson. And so that's it. I'll give you a quick overview. We're going to go from this video into the next one, which will really be the first part of the lesson, which will be the introduction to the course. So the overview of the syllabus, the requirements, my teaching philosophy, those kinds of things. The second video will be about the hero's journey, which is the theme we're using for the course. We'll talk more about why it's a good idea to have a theme and what the hero's journey is in that video. And the third part of the lecture will be about the first actual piece of literature you were assigned to read and that we're studying. which is the Epic of Gilgamesh. So part 3 will be on Gilgamesh. And Gilgamesh is a type of writing called epic poetry. So in that final video, we'll learn what epic poetry is, why it's important, and study Gilgamesh as a form, an example of it, as the oldest literary text, the first story, the first hero ever written down. We'll see what that's like. So I'm excited to start the journey of this class with you. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.